Hello brothers and sisters, this is John Tinsley with Everlasting Rock Ministries. I'm sure you have heard some way, shape, or form that George Soros and his minions of liberals are planning to disrupt the inauguration celebration of Donald J. Trump. After what transpired after the victory of Donald Trump on November 8th, this somehow is not surprising. After Donald Trump's triumph over Hillary Clinton, George Soros deliberately paid countless individuals to stir up the pot and peacefully protest, as liberals like to call it these days. I like to call it rioting. There's just something so biblical about how all this is going down. This isn't all that's going down these days though. Did you know Donald Trump is in the midst of Bible prophecy being fulfilled at this very moment? What do I mean by this? And what does Donald Trump have to do with the Bible? Isn't he the most vile and unchristlike person on the earth right now? Wait and find out. Give this a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to my channel for more Bible-based videos. God bless you. After the triumph of Donald Trump, I have to say, there has been some angry individuals. The mainstream media, the elites, maybe even you. George Soros paid numerous people to take to the streets and make their voices heard. They were so money hungry that they didn't care who got hurt or killed. As a matter of fact, some of these quote-unquote protesters blocked off a freeway which was in the path of an ambulance with a sick little 4-year-old girl inside who was being rushed to the hospital. The ambulance had to find another route and took an extra 45 minutes to get there. Do you want to know what happens next? The little girl dies before they get there. And you know what you hear about it? Complete silence. This is how much power money can have on people. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." To many, this is exactly what makes the world go around. And if this rioting happens again during the inauguration, expect for the same results. But who is really behind all this? Satan right now is behind the veil, orchestrating all this wickedness. He doesn't care who gets hurt. On the contrary, he enjoys seeing people suffer, even until the brink of death. The spirit of Satan is working behind the scenes to ensnare you, yes, even you, into his trap. This is exactly why people across the country are out rioting and killing each other in the process. You see, the book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 12 proclaims, "Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." The selfishness in humanity runs deep, and that's exactly why their love is waxing cold. People taking all the propaganda, everybody should love each other and be at peace. I can't help myself but to be amused, because the simple fact is, when people don't agree with each other, instead of still showing love, they're at each other's throats. If that's a loving person, then I'd hate to come across a hateful person. The truth is though, Donald Trump is still the president of the United States of America, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. But here's a fun fact. Did you know Donald Trump will be taking charge of the earth beast of Revelation chapter 13 into leading the world into accepting the mark of the beast? Did you notice that when Trump was officially declared the winner, that many different leaders of other countries applaud and were thankful that Trump won? The leaders of other nations seem to like the guy. Revelation chapter 13 verses 11 through 12 says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." If you have watched my previous videos, you saw that this first beast was none other than the papacy, and this earth beast, which is the United States of America, will cause all the earth to worship the first beast. It does make it easier when other world leaders love you. But another thing I'd like to bring up is that Mike Pence considers himself an evangelical Catholic. Not only this, but Trump has also stated, and I quote, "I have a message for Catholics. I will be there for you. I will stand with you. I will fight for you." And here's another thing. Donald Trump also declares to abolish the Johnson Amendment Bill, which was established in the 1950s. What does that mean for the separation of church and state? This allows the Christian population to have their voices heard. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I'll tell you right now that it was the combined powers of church and state that crucified Jesus Christ. And it also was the combined powers of church and state that murdered over 1 million Bible-believing Christians from the time of 538 AD to 1798 AD. Do you think things will be any different this time around? Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun." In other words, the things which have happened in the past are going to happen again. The United States of America will form an image to the papacy and will receive the same power as did Rome. The book of Revelation chapter 13 verses 15 and 16 proclaims, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." To make a long story short, you either take this mark or you die. This mark will ensure your allegiance to the beast and the dragon, which is Satan. Therefore, you have made your final preference. The Sunday movement is now making its way in darkness. The leaders are concealing the true issue. And many who unite in the movement do not themselves see whither the undercurrent is tending. They are working in blindness. They do not see that if a Protestant government sacrifices the principles that have made them a free, independent nation, and through legislation brings into the Constitution principles that will propagate papal falsehood and papal delusion, they are plunging into the Roman horrors of the Dark Ages. There are many, even of those engaged in this movement for Sunday enforcement, who are blinded to the results which will follow this action. They do not see that they are striking directly against religious liberty. There are many who have never understood the claims of the Bible Sabbath and the false foundation upon which the Sunday institution rests. Those who are making an effort to change the Constitution and secure a law enforcing Sunday observance little realize what will be the result. A crisis is just upon us. It is our duty to do all in our power to avert the threatened danger. A vast responsibility is devolving upon men and women of prayer throughout the land of petition that God may sweep back this cloud of evil and give a few more years of grace to work for the Master. Those who are now keeping the commandments of God need to bestir themselves that they may obtain the special help which God alone can give them. They should work more earnestly to delay as long as possible the threatened calamity. Let not the commandment-keeping people of God be silent at this time, as though we gracefully accepted the situation. We are not doing the will of God if we sit in quietude, doing nothing to preserve liberty of conscience. Fervent, effectual prayer should be ascending to heaven, that this calamity may be deferred until we can accomplish the work which has so long been neglected. Let there be most earnest prayer, and then let us work in harmony with our prayers. There are many who are at ease, who are, as it were, asleep. They say, if prophecy has foretold the enforcement of Sunday observance, the law will surely be enacted. And having come to this conclusion, they sit down in a calm expectation of the event, comforting themselves with the thought that God will protect His people in the day of trouble. But God will not save us if we make no effort to do the work He has committed to our charge. As faithful watchmen, you should see the sword coming and give the warning, that men and women may not pursue a course through ignorance that they would avoid if they knew the truth. When our nation shall so abjure the principles of its government as to enact a Sunday law, Protestantism will in this act join hands with Popery. Protestants will throw their whole influence and strength on the side of the papacy. By a national act enforcing the false Sabbath, they will give life and vigor to the corrupt faith of Rome, reviving her tyranny and oppression of conscience. Soon, the Sunday laws will be enforced, and men in positions of trust will be embittered against the little handful of God's commandment-keeping people. The prophecy of Revelation chapter 13 declares that the power represented by the beast with lamb-like horns shall cause the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the papacy. There, symbolized by the beast, like unto a leopard, this prophecy will be fulfilled when the United States of America shall enforce Sunday observance, which Rome claims as a special acknowledgement of her supremacy. Political corruption is destroying love of justice and regard for truth. And even in free America, rulers and legislators, in order to secure public favor, will yield to the popular demand for a law enforcing Sunday observance. Jesus says in Revelation chapter 22 verses 14 to 21, "Blessed are they that do His commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, Come. And let him that heareth say, Come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. He which testifieth these things saith, Surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come. Lord Jesus, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Amen. Are you ready for Jesus to come soon? Do you long to enter into that eternal kingdom? The only words I long to hear are, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Is that what you want? I sure hope it is. The time is short, and we need to surrender all to Jesus while we can. Make sure to give this a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, share it with your loved ones, and make sure to subscribe for more Bible-based videos. May God bless you, and I hope to see you all next time.